There are different types of love, but if love was just a feeling, I would be in love with a lot of people. I love a good love story, especially when love is coupled with greatness, with epic sacrifice for faith, family, community, or lover, awakening my desire for something more. So I was excited the other day when I picked up a quick read romance and it grabbed me. I read it carnivorously, tuning out everything around me for a full day. But the moment I put it down, anticipating a feeling of triumph, my heart sunk. I was so unsatisfied because I didn't feel inspired to go live love myself, but like I needed to go find another trashy novel to feel some rush that I had just experienced. I was so unsatisfied because the story I had just read portrayed only a shadow of the epic love that each human person is invited into, and I wanted more than that. The book reduced love to just a feeling. The couple in the story certainly felt an intoxicating connection for one another, but their relationship hardly extended past this initial infatuation. And I really thought about it. I realized that what had been portrayed was solely what John Paul II refers to in his book Love and Responsibility as the synchronization of emotional and sensual experiences. The synchronization of emotional and sensual experiences, what do these words mean? Well, have you ever watched a sports game in a big stadium? The emotions of you and the fans around you all run high with excitement when your team does well and low when a bad call is made. Cheers, music, and the smell of popcorn flood all of your senses. Sharing these intense emotional and sensory experiences with your bleacher buddies makes you feel closer to them. Suddenly you're high-fiving one another like good friends, and while this feeling of closeness is good and beautiful, it is clearly not symbolic of some deeper intimacy. Because after the game is over, you all go back to your cars and, well, forget about one another. The emotional and sensual experience that bonded you is gone. In romantic relationships, it is wonderful that shared emotions and experiences can help feelings of closeness flourish. But if this was all that love entailed, then the moment these experiences inevitably would go out of sync, for example, if someone's having a bad day or communication gets really hard because, well, you're two different people, the love would be gone like strangers walking out of a stadium. If feelings faded, would there be anything substantial left? John Paul II says this: "We must never forget that only when love between human beings is put to the test can its true value be seen." That is why authentic love chooses a person, not just a feeling. And don't get me wrong, there are different levels of feelings that we need to pay attention to and honor. For example, if we never feel a deep, abiding sense of peace in our relationship, that's a red flag. But what I've seen again and again is people covering up these red flags with the immediate pleasant experiences that come from being together. If we love someone primarily for emotional experiences, that's use. If we love someone primarily for physical experiences, that's lust. Love makes a commitment to another's ultimate good, simply for that person's own sake and not because of any pleasant experiences they might provide. And the ultimate good is heaven. All our relationships flourish when we keep our eyes on heaven and how we can help one another to live out who we are and to get there. This love is not all-consuming or completely self-contained because instead of seeking to possess another person, it embraces the greater goal of stewarding another person's heart towards their ultimate purpose, towards who they are. It embraces their freedom and personhood. One time, I called my mom in a fluster looking for relationship advice and asked, "How did you know that Dad was the one?" I was so curious. And she told me this: "Alex, I knew your dad was the one because I chose him." At the time, this wasn't the clear-cut advice that I wanted to hear. But as I'm starting to mature in my understanding of love, I started to get it. It's more than a feeling, more than a feeling. Click here to subscribe. Click here to watch the next video. Do, 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 do. Can that be my ending?
Yeah.